Hi. Good morning.
Hello. Yeah, how are you?
Uh, I'm much better.
Good.
Yeah.
I didn't get
Uh,
any comments, so that's good.
and how are you doing too?
Oh, I'm good. Hey, so welcome. This
Mm-hmm.
is your favorite auntie, and we are on Auntie'S book corner, your favorite auntie's chat, and I'm with my co-host. Yeah, she said I shouldn't call her sister. Yeah, Boatima Russell. She doesn't want to be a
Yes.
sister, so yeah, I'll leave you to take up while I share. I don't know, maybe I don't know. Does share? What do you call it? Does being called sister make you feel a certain way? Is that
Yeah,
what it?
ever since it's not now. Ever
Mm-hmm,
since I was little, like not little, but when I went to
mm-hmm,
high school,
mm-hmm.
that's when the sister started. So when I came back
Okay,
home, I
mm-hmm.
just told my siblings that none of you should call me sister. Like, I don't know, it made
Oh,
me
okay,
feel weird even at that time. So they
okay.
never did, and they never called me. They always called me by my name, and
Oh, okay.
that's how. But I do call other people because that's what's expected of you. I mean,
Yes.
it shows respect. But in my mind at that time, I thought to
Mm-hmm,
myself, I can call you sister and not respect you. So
mm-hmm,
that's not the point. So that's what I told my siblings. I'd rather
mm-hmm.
you show me respect than to call me sister and not
No,
respect me. So yeah,
okay.
so that's
For
yeah.
me,
So
the thing here for me is when you go into the store and you're talking and they go, ma'am, the old Southern ma'am. I'm like,
makes you feel
what
old.
ma'am? I'm like, what kind of ma'am are we talking about? So yeah, it's kind of something
That
else.
that mom thing makes you feel
Hmm.
old. Like what?
Yeah,
Like why?
I tend to
Well,
wonder. Hmm.
anyway, well, I guess they're also trying to be respectful and
Polite,
cagey.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So today our topic is an interesting one. It's it's going to be on how our upbringing determines how we value ourselves,
Hmm.
and that is an interesting topic because of where we're coming from too, eh?
Oh
Because
yes.
there's a whole lot of factors that affect us, and um, if you're not careful, you'll be stuck in it.
Hmm.
So
And
it's up to yeah. Oh shoot.
the sad reality is that a lot of us are still stuck in it.
Yes, yes. It's like that's what I know, so that's all there
Hmm.
is. But
Yes.
there's more. There's more out there, and um, sometimes this holds us back. I don't want to go
Hmm.
into details before we start. So
Yeah, that's true.
um, this holds us back from actually reaching our potential,
Hmm.
because it brings you back, and I still have some residues of it that I'm still
I
working on. And
hear you. I hear you very
yeah,
well.
yeah.
It makes you think of Ajo Odo when she's talking about the box.
Yes.
You can never get out of it because it's prescribed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Mine is more social, and it doesn't help that I'm an introvert too. So
Hmm.
my social skills are horrible.
You sound like me. I wouldn't call it horrible. It's just that we're used to a certain way, right? And if you don't go that way and you try to keep to yourself or do certain things, that you get labeled, right?
Mm-hmm,
That's
mm-hmm.
the only problem. We don't allow people to be. That's what it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that was passed on to us by our parents and grandparents, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what they knew, that's what they passed on. And if you're not careful, that'll be all you also know. So w-
Exactly.
yeah, so we're here to share what we've been through, what we see around, and
Mm-hmm.
how best you can get out of it, because
Mm-hmm.
we need to get out of it. Yeah.
So I think we can start now. I'll do some more sharing after. I mean, I've done most of it, so there's other links I need to throw in.
Okay.
Actually, let me do the book links and then so yeah, you can start. I'm just going to put in the book links before I forget.
Okay. Okay. The first. Oh my God, my
Let's,
glasses broke. The first point is in knowing who we are, and
mm-hmm.
that's as we were saying before, knowing who you are starts from where you come from and
Yes.
um, the environment that you were in. So um, when I say my social skills, it was more because I was very timid,
Mm-hmm.
and that's from being yelled at whenever you want to say something. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're asked to be quiet because you're a
Mm-hmm.
kid. When
Yes.
adults are speaking, you don't speak. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there are some parts of it that that is true. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so that you're, I don't know, what is it, like some parts of it are true, but I think we go overboard
Yes.
because you also don't want a kid or a child who is always over talking. Like when you go out in public, it's like,
Hello,
um,
Nanabna. Welcome. Great to have you
hello,
on.
Nana. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's that's fine. It's kind of being trained to be well behaved,
Yes.
but there is a fine line between well behaved and being timid.
Yes.
And I think they overdid it, so it rather pushed me, for instance, to the timid side more than,
Mm-hmm.
well, it will show as well behaved too, but I was timid and I didn't need to be, because you can be
Mm-hmm.
well behaved and still outgoing and
Mm-hmm.
free in the social circles. But um, being asked not to talk when adults are talking, and even
Mm-hmm.
when something is wrong and the adult is at fault, and you're still being asked not to say anything, but you're asked
Yes.
to apologize instead when it's not your fault. I mean,
Yes.
it's just like to the extreme. And
Mm-hmm.
even when you are wrong,
Yeah, you are frozen. So until Ya comes back, so she's talking about the timidity aspect. That seems to be you froze for a bit there.
yeah, I'm trying to turn off some devices. My Wi-Fi is acting up. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you were talking about apologizing to adults.
Oh yes, yes. When it's clearly the adult's fault, like, and even when you're grown, they still want to do that. Because I remember I was in my 30s, and an adult, I don't want to say who, but
Mm-hmm.
any but my siblings will know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
She was at fault,
Mm-hmm.
so it became like we're not speaking. There
Mm-hmm.
was a long period of us not talking to each other because I had nothing to
Mm-hmm.
say to her, and
Mm-hmm.
I was rather asked to go and apologize. And I was telling them, what do I say? Because I haven't done anything wrong. What am I going to say? I'm sorry for. Like, what am I sorry for?
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, I had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I, I just said, I'm sorry. I haven't been in touch because there was nothing else
Mhm.
I could have said, you know. And that
Mm.
it's like it's kind of like slavery actually.
Yes,
Like
mental.
yeah, yeah, it is a mental slavery, and we don't seem to see the effect of it because we're not a people who are used to talking about our feelings too. You can't really talk
No,
about your feelings because if you
no.
talk about your feelings, you'll be labeled a certain way. I don't know. I mean, so but if we're able to talk about our feelings, then I'm sure we would have changed some of the way we actually treat our children a long time
Hmm.
ago. But
Yes.
so somehow I say it's not their fault, but it is their fault. That's what they knew. That's how they brought us up, and because of
Hmm.
these systems in place or beliefs that you don't speak about how you feel
Hmm.
and stuff like that, it doesn't help either. So yeah.
You are right on the points that you are raising because it's almost like I have a few points here. You are raised to be always respect the adult. Children should be
Mhm.
seen and not heard. But then you
Yes.
come into these environments in which we are, and if you want to apply that kind of training, before you know it, your children will be out there doing something else because they are so afraid, and it's happening. They are so
Yeah.
afraid to tell you about what is going on with them, be it right or wrong. You see, the issue
Yes.
that I have is that we come across sometimes as people who we expect so much perfection and we put ourselves to such high standards, forgetting that we are human beings. And
Hmm.
a lot of us, the most of us are Christians and believers. So it amazes me that what we learn in the word, we are not able to cut each other some slack. So we judge,
Right.
we them, you have to be this way, you have to be that way. And the timidity that you're talking about, you can't speak. So if you are somebody who's given to speaking up or speaking your mind, like us here and some of our friends that we know who do these other programs, you get
Hmm.
labeled, you get called names because the woman has a prescribed role that she plays in the society, and it's not to be upfront out there speaking. So it's
Right.
your own women like you, who will even judge and condemn you, help the men to even condemn and oppress you more.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
forgetting that the word of God that we all claim is the standard that we live by should remind us that you are individual. Everybody is an individual. You came on this earth for a particular reason, for a particular purpose. So if people are going to spend time to muzzle you and to shut you up, how do you grow?
Hmm.
Look,
Hmm.
if we can sit here and we're talking, it's not everybody who went through this, but generally, when you think about it, if you take a particular group of people and you ask somebody to tell you what traits are these people known by, you'll know. Like if we were in a British former British colony. So when you say British people, stiff upper lip, prim and proper, that type thing. If you
Keeping up
mention
appearances.
yes, if you mention Ghanaians, for me, the label that comes is the timidity.
Hmm.
There's people out there doing what they have to do, but broadly speaking, that is how
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah.
yes, please, yes, this, yes, that. You may
Fake.
see your fellow Nigerian or some other person pushing and doing something, but the
Right.
Ghanaian is always, oh, it's not this. Like, and then we put these traits on each other because I know and I live my life a certain way, then I expect you to live it that way. You can't do
Same
anything
way.
different. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll give you a classic example. It may be unrelated, but me, I'll put it in because it's like the way we are. We want everybody to be the same way. It's even
Hmm.
when you are abroad, when somebody's come abroad and you come, they think that well, I've come is the mentality. Don't I'm here and I'm being quiet and mousy. So you've come to you also be quiet and mousy. So they don't show you the way. They don't show you the system. Look, years ago, I went to an ICGC Greater Works conference in the States with
Mm.
a pastor, right, and his family. and
Yeah.
the general overseer was preaching about moving from Egypt to the land of Canaan. And he said this comment that when people come abroad and they bring other people, they don't want to tell the newcomers how life is like because we are so afraid that they'll come and pass us. We are so
Mm-hmm.
timid. And you know what? The observation that I made while he was talking? The room was very quiet. You could hear a pin drop. And me, knowing my angels, I'm sitting there and I'm laughing in my head. And I said, "Itchy yen nyinaa." He's talking to all of us. So everybody is quiet,
Right.
you know. But these behaviors, so we are not dynamic, you know. We are the same. We can stay like me. We can stay in a job for years and years. Um, we can come abroad and say, oh, the best thing you can do, which is true, get a government job, get this, get that. But now that is changing. So if you say put yourself at risk, like look at how we think, even people who are doing online business will look, oh, what are they doing? They are not doing anything good. They are
They
not
are
up to
lazy
no good.
people.
Or they are
Mm-hmm.
lazy. Or
Yeah.
near Jumadin, they are not doing
Mm.
hard work that, oh, I have 3 jobs. I go to two during the weekend. The weekend I do another one.
And that's a
Like
life.
that is a life. So, you know, and the other thing too is confidence. Because of the timidity, we don't have any confidence. Look, if you had told me that I would be sitting here talking to people, or even daring to be brave to think you can write a book, I would have said no. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry to say, I shouldn't even apologize. It is the truth. Any self confidence that I got was when I came here. And yet, a lot of our people, we live in these places, Obi Krom, Ebronechi, and yet will condemn the very people that we live amongst. Look, their lifestyle is, their own lifestyle, no, it's not always the best, but I say
Mm-hmm.
always pick the good values, the good things, we don't learn it. Information
Pick the
is
good
easily
ones. Yeah.
accessible. We are closed off. We are put ourselves in our boxes. We just transported ourselves in the box from where we come from to here because of some of these things,
Mm-hmm.
the upbringing, oh, don't make noise, be quiet. When you have a need, you don't even want to tell anybody. And I know what comes with it, but surely you can find one or two trusted people to talk to.
And
Even
trust.
if
Yeah. That's
even
true.
if you can't talk to somebody somebody you know, Brony be somebody that you know outside of those circles that you trust. Look, what I've said and I've even learned,
Right.
say, remember when something is going on with you, be brave enough to open your mouth and say, hey, this situation is going on with me. So I anticipate that in the coming weeks, this, that will happen. I've always done that and it's always worked for me. Indeed, if you have a family member going through something, you've given them notice, they give you the time that you need and all that. But if you're going to be more and more and more and more and not speak up, who knows? Who
Right.
knows? There's systems in place at work too to take care of those things. So you have to speak up. Speaking up is not a bad thing, but we muzzle each other. Muzzle is like gagging,
No.
like free press. You can't talk. Human beings are not allowed
Yeah.
to talk. You can't say the truth. Oh, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Be quiet. Don't worry. It's okay. Be quiet. And you keep getting shut down. You can't be yourself. Even people want to talk for you and how you should behave. If you go and say, oh, I'm having this problem, oh, are you sure it's not your fault? Like we don't have, because of how what you were saying about us not having, being able to talk about our feelings, our emotional intelligence, we're not very empathetic, and we don't have compassion for people. We come across very harsh. Hello, Amajo. Mwah. Yeah, you are frozen again. I was talking to a frozen lady. We don't have sympathy or compassion for people. So if somebody is going through something, go, oh, look at them. Because we're used to this harsh life and we think that our way is the best, but we don't want to take a step back and explore and see, hey, is there a different way I can do this? Maybe there's another way I can learn it, especially in the way that we are with our children. You see, a lot of us, the parents, for example, we have the wrong focus. We are here, but our mind is so much over back home. that sometimes we forget to focus on our children and give them what they need for their lives, because we forget that since we are here, we've come to give birth to them here. They are living in this society, and you are not learning the system so that you can advise your child to have a better life. You're focused on back home and pleasing relatives and building big homes. That's fine. But how about you buy that nice home so your child lives in a nice neighborhood, so that they too they feel they are somebody, they feel confident, and then they are in the classrooms rubbing shoulders with their brofo children. You and I, we came in our adult years because of the way that we were raised. Maybe some of us may be lacking self-confidence. Sometimes we have this inferiority complex, but I always say that your children are at an advantage. Spend and invest in them. Spend and invest in them. Oh, let me check my phone. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's having problems. Spend and invest in them so that they also, the confidence that you didn't, the confidence that you didn't have, build it in them. Build it in them. Yes. We've always talked often about the box. In my book, there's somewhere that I talk about being, yes, we, we talk about being in the box and not even realizing that, what do you call it? There's four other corners that you can go to. If this is not working, move here, try something different. You check, try another area, it's not working. And so then you have the option of even getting out of the box. The box is that prescribed thing in the oops, yeah, sorry.
That's
How
fine.
long were you there? Me if you were there. I'm
No,
just
I wasn't there for long, just a few
okay.
seconds. Yeah.
We forget that we have options. Like you see, like this goes to the point of the closed mindset and the open mindset. You were raised a certain way. We are not saying that everything we were taught is bad. No, there's good
Hmm.
values, but there's some
Yeah.
too that are hindering us. This is why we are taught, we are saying what we are saying, and it is how our upbringing shapes our self value. Would you believe that because of some of these values that we have, you know, there's people who are living in the diaspora and they don't even engage or have any other social circle apart from their own community? They only interact with Ghanaians, church, whatever, So if you are not having different experiences, are you growing as a human being? So this all affects your self value. If you are
Yeah.
not learning the language, look, like me, I'll use French. Okay. I had
Hmm.
to, most of us, Ghana, you have to learn French. So class four, I started learning
For
French.
some, yeah.
I got to Form 3. My teacher was so mean, so bad, I left it. But I always loved the language. When I came to work, there was opportunity through, yeah, you are frozen again. There was opportunity through work to take French classes, and I took advantage of it. Though I've stopped, it's gone to the wayside, but it's something that I'm saying that if I could do it, if you are living in another country where the language is different, how can you live
I
there and not try to learn the
yeah.
language so you can help your child?
Okay.
So that fear of embracing something new, learning something new, it's not only affecting you but your children, because you don't know the language. It is a barrier. You don't know the language enough to be able to advocate for them. So where is their life going to be in the future? At the bottom of the totem pole. They'll be at the pit of the barrel.
Right.
Is that what you came to Abrochi to accomplish? For you to be in poverty and your child also to be there? So hello, Miss Aisha, welcome. Miss Sage Akwaba, thanks for joining us. Ama Joseph, come with me to Paris. We have to talk. Yeah, let's carry on. So these are some of the things, the bullying and even the bullying and shaming. Oh, yeah, is having problems with her Wi-Fi this morning. The bullying and shaming. It is so horrible. It is so atrocious. We say mean things to each other. Look, I've said it before. It's somewhere in my book. till I came to live in this side of the world. I always thought that I was the ugly duckling because even the society, even picture this. I live in North Kanishi, so you go to Kanishi, you go and ask for the price of something. You are asking, and then you don't buy. Just because you didn't buy it, the seller looks at you and insults you with a body part. I'm like, what is wrong with us? Can't I ask a question without making a purchase? Is that what happens here? You can walk into a store, look around, you don't want to make a purchase, nobody is going to say anything to you. Sometimes, even you walk into these stores, things have changed. Customer service is not what it used to be before. So, even you don't get people being all helpful and all that. You stroll in, look around, then you stroll out. That's it. So, this insult, or even it relates to um, boys. A boy may be chasing you, you don't like them, so they give you a name and then everybody starts calling you that name because we don't deal with our feelings. We don't know how to accept rejection. We don't know how to love ourselves, so we treat people anyhow, and it's reflected in our daily dealings with each other. So these are some of the things that we're talking about, how our upbringing shapes our self-value. When I came into a different environment, I realized what I was up against. I had to change something. I had to build myself up. I had to do the work. Even still, you have people in our communities who don't like people who are outspoken, people who are confident because we've just been taught to be mousy. Oh, be mousy. Look, a classic example you can see when you see women talking, sometimes even they are not able to raise their head and they think it's a sign of humility. But in these places where we live, you have to do eye contact. If you don't have eye contact, there's cultures where, yes, looking at people directly in the eye is viewed as a sign of disrespect. But in the area in which we live right now, you have to be confident to look people in the eye and to speak up and to express yourself. If it's the language po brɔfo no po na ɛyɛ yi a, I put it that peka crowd betumi atwa wo ho that nobody is going to bully you. But we are
Mhm.
so timid, so whatever. We are not living our best lives because of some of these things, how our upbringing shapes our self-value. Because you've been told, be quiet, be this, be that, be submissive, be that. So you are sitting in these relationships, whatever, anything that imprisons you, you think it's okay. Friendships are oppressing you. Marriage or relationships with the opposite sex are oppressing you. Church is oppressing you. Look, I've been there, I've done it. It's a classic. So,
Yeah.
our culture and our faith, we take it to extremes. It seems like we were the people who were alive in Jesus' time. We condemn everybody under the sun. And yet
Yeah.
Jesus is love, but we be before you chrome for no. Some of the Christianity that we practice, it's turned people off, and people don't even want to worship God anymore.
Most of it.
We are so holy, we are so self-righteous. Look, me that I'm sitting here, I love the Bible. I will sit. It's not for the purpose of coming to sit and tell you that, show up that, oh, me, I'm yes, me, I'm yes. It's not church alone that will build your faith, it's what you do in private. But some of us will take the Bible, and if you name, just look face, and pretend we are so holy and condemn everybody. No, or in all of that, we've just forgotten because we don't love ourselves enough. Even to love yourself is considered as, you have to do for everybody. So if something is going on and you refuse to, somebody says, do something for me, and you say no, they stop talking to you.
Yeah.
It's not convenient for me. It is not convenient for me.
There.
No, listen,
Ah,
to be able to communicate in the language where you are is in itself a means of survival. Yes,
yeah,
not being able
it
to do
is.
that causes undue limitation. It is so important. It's so
Mhm.
sad. Yeah, we can carry on, but we just have
Mhm.
to start from this place to explain some of the things that limit us as people.
Yes, yes. While you were talking about the Christianity thing, I was thinking that if you look at it's the motive behind the whole thing, because
Hmm.
in our country or where we
Hmm.
come from, it's just what you do. It's not about because you were seeking something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what you do. It's a social thing. So
Yes,
I
yes.
think that all brings about those kind of things, because if if you're seeking something,
Mm-hmm.
then you would invest in reading the Bible on your own. You would not go and
Yes.
sit down and just listen to whatever anybody says, which is going on now. All the
Mm-hmm.
rubbish things that they're doing, like bathing people and then quoting from the
Mm-hmm.
Bible to support it, like
Mm-hmm.
all that thing, those things would not happen if we're going for the right reasons. You go to
Yes.
church because you have to go to church. It's Sunday. Everybody goes to church. But it's not
Mm-hmm.
because you want to seek God or you want to seek something higher.
Mm-hmm.
So the foundation is all wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see. This is how I put it. We want his creations, but we don't seek the creator himself.
Himself
Oh,
or a relationship
I
with
want to
him.
go
Yeah.
abroad. I want to get married. I want a car. I want a house, but it's not seeking to have an intimate relationship with the creator himself. And
Yeah.
so we still go around doing evil and wickedness to each other because we've not emptied ourselves for him to fill us up. No, we're just there for our own agenda, it
Right.
would seem. Mhm.
Right. Right. And well, the teachings in the churches don't help either. Because if you
Hey,
think,
hey, Mr. My uncle.
not
Nobody,
everybody,
not everybody. Is
well,
that
it's
you
just a
there? Is that you?
majority. A majority of us, we go just for going sake.
Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I am. I was going to say something. It just slipped my mind. What was I going to say? Yeah, a majority of us. And this mom brain thing,
what's that?
it's gone.
Oh,
They
okay,
say
okay.
mom brain when you start having kids, your brain starts, because it's
Yeah,
all
just
everywhere.
fuzzy, brain
Yep,
freeze.
yep, yeah, yeah. And yeah, I was going to talk about, yeah, I was talking about the teachings in the churches, because if you think about love being the main thing and it's solving a lot of issues, it's not the main topic in our churches. Like, you hardly hear it.
No.
So, I mean, you can't blame them too. The hearers.
And this is just me. Many suffer, but I'm saying that the greatest revelation I've ever had is that the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself.
Yes. So,
But with us, the culture has made it appropriate to just love our neighbors. Or if I ask you something, you have to do it. You have to come and give me a ride every day. You have to do that. You have to do this. But we don't love ourselves. If you love yourself, then you are looked at as you are not holy enough because you are selfish. Why are you
yeah.
loving yourself? But I can
Yeah.
only love you as much as I love myself. I can't give you
Yes.
what I don't have. So
Yeah.
this is the problem that we're having. A lot of these things are happening because a lot of us don't know who we are. We are
Yeah.
being somebody that the society or other people have prescribed us to be. Because if you're
Yes.
a woman, you are told this is what a woman should do. This is what is expected of you. The man
The
is supposed to,
ultimate goal. Yep.
yes, where you're just groomed for our career.
Have
That's
a
all.
good marriage.
Yes. So no matter what is going on, you shut up and put up with it.
Okay.
These are some of the things. So a lot is going on. A
Yeah.
lot is going on that
Yeah.
we don't analyze. We endure, we take abuse from whoever, spiritual
Mhm.
authorities, workplaces, friends, people bullying us because we don't know who we are. We are too afraid to speak up. The
Yeah.
timidity limits us. If something is not going well, you have to say enkoye, but we are so
Yes.
afraid. Yes, and people like me, when we come and say it, then you become public enemy number
Yeah.
one
Too
because you
known.
speak up. You are too known. Hey, let me tell you something. There's this pastor in the US that I'm following, um,
Mm.
Apostle Franco Pokuamwako, and this week he's been doing a series on how to marry the alpha female. So I'm listening to the descriptions and I'm
Interesting.
laughing and I'm like, oh yeah, some of us may be that laid back ones, but you know that in our society, people do not like women who speak up for themselves, and I don't know why we
No.
have a problem with it.
We are
So
witches.
yes,
The most
yes,
popular title you'll get, yeah,
yes,
witch.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if we flip it to the other side, say here, and I can't say that I like everything that happens in this environment either, because I don't like
Yeah.
the way children talk to parents and all that. But some of the things that we have, Brofono, some of the things that we have had to learn is to learn how to speak with our children, have a dialogue, acknowledge their feelings. It's very difficult for us to make that switch because of how we were raised. So we
Mm,
think because we were raised this way, so they should be that way. It's difficult. It's very difficult. And there's a lot of stuff that is going on. And
yeah.
sometimes the people are so, because look, a lot of us too have gone through trauma. This katasumwema, so things people have gone through abuse, people have been whatever. So
Yes.
we're all now adults and we're in our homes and we are doing things or
Mm-hmm.
not paying attention enough to our children. You look, I'll say this in truth, the worst thing that can happen to you, and they say, oh, babeko school. No akokase we say kosu wo fie. Oh, nka wawu. And you have to make your mindset that, look, yes, I was raised this way, but shift. You are in a different environment. Your children are in a different environment. Even if you won't teach them, they are learning it in the school system. So be open because you don't want to lose your children. If you don't want going to be real about life with them, somebody else is going to tell them something you don't want them to. Ama Josie, they are asking you, do you know what I went through? So meaning you should also go through the same thing. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
to us.
Uh-huh. You were talking about the children here, like the other extreme where they
Mm-hmm,
over talk or talk over or not actually talk with respect sometimes. And
mm-hmm.
on the other hand, some of us come here and we also overdo it. Because I
Yes.
see African children and the way they talk, even to their parents, it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Like, I'm surprised,
Yes.
I'm shocked. So we have to be careful too. We learn the good
True,
things,
true.
but it has to
Yeah.
be all in moderation because the fact that you're bringing up your child to be able to talk or speak up doesn't mean that respect should be out of the equation. So we
Yes.
have to balance it. If we have, and that all comes to us having values ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
because it's what you have that you're going to pass on to your
Your
children.
children. Yes.
So if your values are that you're respectful, and I don't mean the Ghanaian respectful that is the
No.
fake respect, timid kind, actual
Okra mo
respect.
say.
Yes, the actual respect. Train your children like it should be intentional. It shouldn't be just we're feeding them, providing stuff for them, and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. In this environment, especially if you do not pass on values, they will pick it up others outside. They'll pick
Yes.
up other values from school, from
Mm-hmm.
friends, but
Mm-hmm.
that also all comes down to if we're able to communicate with our children, because
Mm-hmm.
some parents would not really sit you down to talk to you because
No.
and
Yeah.
that's where what I had like. But my turnaround of the from being getting out of the timidity came in form 4.
Mm-hmm.
I was 15, and it was because my dad actually sat me down and we had a long, like a lengthy conversation.
Mm-hmm.
He told me like why he acts the way he does sometimes and a whole lot of stuff, and even went to the extent of apologizing for some things that
Mm-hmm.
he might have not been fair, but he said it
Mm-hmm.
in his mind it was because he thought I was the eldest and he expects more from me.
Too much pressure.
Oh
Elder
my
Troy,
lord,
we are too tired.
Papa. But at least that conversation helped because I got to understand in a way, like, so it's not like he was being mean to me, because sometimes he comes and we're all doing something, and he expects me to know better. That's what he
Mhm.
says. And I got it. Things like that. And I don't know, but yeah, the extreme, and it's
Mhm.
very sad when I see these our children behave the way they do. And when you said bullying, you should add the children too, because there are some
Yes.
homes that the mother is like the slave in the house. Even when the
Mhm.
children are in their teens, she will go into their room, go collect their clothing, and do the laundry because of my babuchre. So,
Yeah,
oh
she
my
is
God.
allowing that to happen to her. She
Well,
no, she has set
I
that
know that.
tone. She
Yeah,
has.
yeah,
So if you
yeah.
want to be a slave, you will be a slave. No, it's not going to work. Yeah, there's something I want to say before I forget. I'm glad you went there when you talked about the other extreme of the kids,
Yeah.
how they behave to their parents. So we shouldn't. Nana said something to me back in the day, and because we've been in two Ghanaian churches, this was happening.
Mm.
She said that, Mom, have you people think that those of us who were born here, we are the bad children? That's the Ghanaians judging. But look at those who came when they are old and look at how they behave. And it's true because they are in the system till nothing is
True.
bibian for like they see it every day. So it's nothing
Mm-hmm.
new to them until they are just minding their own business going along. But you see people who come, Obi Beka, so buy and then the way they come and behave, and you go, oh wow, what
Yeah.
happened? When
Yeah.
did this change? And you know something, this talking about, I'll throw this in here too, this some of these values, because I don't know
Mm.
whether it's inferiority complex or what. We as a people, we are not even this. Do you know that there's a difference between the children who are born here and those who came, and then they get treated differently? Look,
Mm-hmm.
Nana always used to say that. So these adults, can the conversation be, oh, do you speak tree? That's so they don't say anything beyond that to ask or have a real conversation with you. It's always about tree. Meanwhile, we are standing in about trees. Not that I don't know my language. I do know it, but the limitation is, can't we carry out conversations? Can't we get to know these people? All we know is that, oh, we're adults and you are the child, you know?
Mm.
And it
True.
doesn't work. It doesn't work. We are too chinchini kokoti. If you don't relax yourself, your child will end up somewhere that you don't want them to be.
True.
And you have to
Yeah.
pay attention. You have to really pay attention. Look, I had a doctor. He was a Nigerian doctor. He's since passed away, an older gentleman. One time I went there with Ajua. So he's sitting there, we're chatting. He looks at me. He says, "Oh, is that your daughter?" I said, "Yes, it is." Do you know what he said to me? He said, "Take very good care of her." Because I think he was married, no, Wari Brony before. His daughter is a mixed biracial.
Mm.
And he says, when I turned around, they had spoiled her for me. You
No.
see? Yeah, this is the sacrifice that our children, if they always say it's a choice that you have to make, and it's so difficult. It comes with challenges, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, do you leave them to run free, or do you tell them that, look, you need to be serious, focus, your future is what is important? So it comes at a cost. Friends know you are not into it. Into people look at you and think you're a snob or this or that, but you have a purpose, you know where you want to go, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. There
we
should
don't
be a
we don't
balance.
instill, yeah, we don't
But
instill things in our children at a young age. In this
that
environment,
is it.
you see a little child, they are drumming, they play soccer, they do this. That's it. That's the meal ticket.
Yeah.
They're going to
That's
use that
true.
to get where they are going. And ask, oh, yeah, Kolaboni, you go and play soccer, you come home, the fufu, they won't give you some. All, everything is hash, 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 you know? Hmm,
Yeah. It's always the extreme, like
hmm.
for us. Um. So where are we? We've talked about
Well,
having values, and I think that also falls under when in order to be able to respect and honor yourself.
mhm.
Because so far, I don't know if I missed some. Are we in the well? We've actually touched on all three in
Yes.
yeah, because they're all like related somehow. We've
Mhm.
talked about investing in yourself as well, but
Yeah.
uh the investing in yourself, sometimes the things that hold us back are that I'm an adult thing. Because in this world right now, the things that I've learned from the younger generation, it's amazing. Like, I've learned so much from them. But if I had said I'm the adult, I should know more, then I wouldn't have I wouldn't have learned what I know right now.
Yeah, everything that I need, then I'll call Nana, especially. So Ajua is mainly, sometimes she's not available. And then
Yes.
Nana will laugh and say, "Oh yeah, the millennial to the rescue, you boomer." So, they know what they know, and we don't want to learn. So we are always, um, we're always just stuck where we are, investing in ourselves. Even, you know what? I don't know. Should we take it from the top and come down? Like I have the know who you are, and then we'll come. Like we're
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah,
know who
because if
you
you
are.
don't know who you are, your weaknesses and strengths, then it doesn't push you to learn. Because
No,
if you don't know
no.
where your shortfalls are, then how do you
Mm-hmm,
learn? Like, what are you learning? And what are
mm-hmm,
you learning for?
mm-hmm. And it's like if you don't determine it yourself, somebody will tell you who you are, and you'll be living for somebody or friends, whoever will be manipulating you. You need to be able to say, "This is what." Yeah, you are gone. You need to be able to say that this is what I stand for. This is what I won't allow. Even women,
I was like,
especially. You were frozen. Women, especially, even in relationships, because we've been groomed that, oh, you have to be married. We don't want to take a stand and say that this is what I like, this is what I don't like. You ignore the red flags, and then you go in, and then there's problems. Yes,
yeah,
because we don't know who we are. We've been told, we've been given a script, and that is what we are living. Oh, you've reached this age, you are not married. Oh, there's a problem. There's something wrong with you. you know it's like, and the funny thing is that the same Bible that we're reading, it doesn't tell me that there'll be marriage in heaven, that everybody's
no,
trying to get there.
no.
So why are you all killing and hurting yourself right now? Some will even justify staying in an abusive relationship because our rear or bad, your glory is your marriage. Really?
Yeah, and
No.
it's a shame to the family. You,
Yeah.
if you're
Yes.
divorced,
Yes.
ooh.
Look, I'll tell you a funny story. There was something that my mom was talking about, and it related to a family member and their mom. And so, just the relationship that we were kind of having. And my mom was trying to tell me something that, oh, that person's mom said this. So, maybe trying to determine. I said, look, I haven't done anything wrong. You are not going to let me feel bad. You know how our adults, they want things. Oh, if you are not doing everything to maintain a relationship, then you are the bad person. You are going to hell. This. I said, no, I'm not
Oh
taking
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I don't do that
yes,
anymore. No, that opinion does not matter to me. It's how I see myself, how I think about myself, that is important to me. Because we allow
right.
ourselves to be abused and disrespected because we've been so in it's so ingrained in us that we have to put other people first. And people
Mm-hmm.
have died trying to help other people. And you'll be there helping other people. When you have a need, nobody comes to your aid, and then you sit there and
True.
wallow in bitterness, and sometimes that bitterness will even kill you. So
Yes.
we
Yeah.
have, you have to teach you need to, it goes hand in hand, like, knowing who you are, respecting and honoring yourself. It's okay to be proud of who you are. It doesn't matter whether you're a doctor, whether you are a cleaner, whether you are whoever, know who you are. Because
Yes.
what you are, what you give out is what will attract. If you are somebody who's always a doormat and this and that, you will attract people to you that will come and use
We'll
you,
treat you
abuse you,
that way.
and throw
Mm-hmm.
you away. And it's okay to say no. Like, don't put up with, we put up with too much. We put up with things that we shouldn't put up with,
Yeah.
enduring, and then, and all these things, it shows up in our body. You are not taking care of yourself properly because you don't value yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Like, start knowing who you are. Hey, tell yourself, I'm great, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm worthy, being worthy to yourself. you know, don't allow somebody to come and tell you who you are. That
Hmm.
does not work. No.
Yeah. And also, like, if we're, it's not only about us too, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to impact other people
Others.
or lives, yeah, then you have to actually work on yourself in order to
Oh,
be able to
yes.
do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but who wants to listen to, excuse me, I say this loosely, who wants to listen to a loser if you're not confident and you're always saying negative? This is why, if people are so afraid to break out of some cycles, and there are some cycles and circles, because they are in these circles where everything is negativity. Oh, but can you do that? Oh, I tried it and it didn't work. Even that one tried it, doesn't work. Oh no, let's just sit here. As for us, we don't want problems. Then we are sitting there, and meanwhile, life is not great. We are not feeling, something is missing, and we don't stop to ask ourselves, what is wrong with me? We're not good at looking at ourselves in a hard way. We are too afraid. Look, there are some people that they can't sit by themselves, enjoy their own company for
No.
5 minutes. They always have to be with people. They always have to be at the party on the weekend. They always have to be here, there.
Yeah.
Yes, Mama Joe says, yeah, love
And
yourself a
what
little
did I
more.
say?
Mhm.
Yes, that's true. And then we also need to check whether, if you have any values, you check
Mhm.
whether your practical life is in line with your values. Because
Yes.
you'd be lying to yourself if you say that you value something and it doesn't show in your
Mhm.
practical life. So these are
Mhm.
also questions that we need to ask and go revisit our values and
Yes.
I don't know, like put it in practice. Because
Well,
you
yeah.
know, children don't actually learn from you telling them. They look, they watch, they see a lot. So it's from you living your values that children will
Mhm.
pick up from and learn from it. You can
Mhm.
tell them, but if they see something um, different from what you're saying, then
Mhm.
I mean, they're not going to even take you seriously. And
Yes.
usually that's what they will pick because they'll constantly see you doing it,
Mhm.
you know. So we have to be careful too.
Hmm. Mama Joe is agreeing with you. So, and then when we
Yeah.
come to investing in yourself, a lot of us, we are
Nice.
so outer focused that we're just doing things for other people. Oh, my husband. Oh, my
Yeah.
wife. Oh, my children. What about you? What about you? Okay, the question that I wanted to ask even before is that when we were talking about values, um,
Mm.
what what is your main goal for coming abroad? Is it just to come and work and make money and send back home? Go
Yeah.
to work, do hard work, come and sleep, wake up, come and sleep. If that is your main goal, then this conversation is not for you.
Yeah.
Because clearly you like where you're at, you don't want to see any change, you don't want to do anything, that is fine. But if you want more in life, and especially, even that does not even matter, because if you have children or a wife, you're building a legacy. Like Ya just said, your children are watching you. If your life was not good, what are you doing better to impact them?
Yes.
Excuse me. What are you doing better to impact them? So these conversations need to be had.
Mm-hmm.
Investing in yourself. Look, it used to be, I said years ago, when you go to the library downtown, you'd see my people from China, some people, or it could be from Asia, I don't know which country, obviously, and they would be learning English. But a Ghanaian, when you tell them that, oh, go and do adult education, learn English, pride, shame, what have you? That is your business. If you are doing it, I don't need to know. Even if I know, does it matter?
It doesn't.
Do I pay your bills? Do I feed you?
Besides, English is not our language, so
Yes, but I said before, say kakra yedi be try and hono dear.
No,
you
I
can
mean
do it.
it's not shameful. That's what I mean. You
Yes,
don't need
yeah,
to be
but
ashamed
we
if you're
still,
going to learn it.
but yeah, even as we are the same people too, we laugh at people the way we make it, no, blah blah blah, and laugh at people
Yeah,
about it.
that's true.
We don't as a community or as a society, we don't allow people to be themselves. We always want to prescribe and tell people who they should be.
Yeah,
So if
that's true.
somebody is not fitting the mold, then you start to act a certain way towards them. But me coming back to investment, I say that when I see, yeah, I'll tell you a story. There are certain things we all know, we all use. You just sit down and you just pick it and you learn it. Okay, like
Hmm.
Canva, I had to learn it on my own. I don't
Yeah,
know everything about it, every nuance. But
yeah.
this week, because I've I've registered, I have an account with Udemy, so they always send you these courses, right? A
Mm-hmm.
list of
Yeah.
courses, especially when it's on sale. So this week I saw, oh, Canva, learn that this, learn that. I said, yeah, this is how I think. Somebody will say, I mean, could $21 for this, but I know it already. You don't know everything.
You don't know
You know
everything.
what?
Yeah.
I'm busy doing some two other things, courses that I'm working on right now, including the book club thing. So I said I bought it, I've packed it, I will look at it. Do you get what I mean? It's mine. If I log in, I can go and I'll figure it out and learn it. So that's what I do. Anytime, sometimes I ignore the emails. Other times I look, I'm like, oh, okay. What is $21? I can sit there and go and buy a cardigan or buy food and it will be gone. But the way we cry about money, we'll spend money on our fufu, on our clothes to go to funerals, on our clothes to go to parties and baby showers. But learning something, paying to learn something and to better yourself is not something that we're interested in. Yeah, are you frozen again? So for me, this is where I'm coming from. Learning, it can be in classroom, going to learn for years and years, but I'm somebody I believe in continuous learning. And there's people who are my age and they'll sit and say, oh, I'm too old for this. This is the mentality to we give up on ourselves so easy. I'm too old for this. I can't do this. I can't do that. And then we leave it. And so if you, the adult, you don't have that inner fortitude to push and pursue your goals, what values are you passing on to your children? Give up early. Oh, this doesn't work for us. Yeah, before this is not us. And so we are stuck. And then we ask ourselves why we don't make progress in life. So it does not matter. Invest in yourself. Nobody, I'm not saying don't go and buy clothes and dress yourself. And obviously, grooming is very important because when you're going to your work situations and what have you, you need to look. Everybody needs to take confidence in themselves, in their appearance. So there's a grooming factor. But I'm not talking of the overboard ones, having to spend all your money on clothes, every day change clothes so that people will know you have clothes. Yes, if you're changing clothes and there's nothing going on upstairs, that's a problem you have to deal with. Maybe you are content that way, but me, I'm not. And it's not to say that I know everything. No, I said I believe in continuous learning. So I won't give up on myself. I keep pushing. Yes. Yeah, is gone. So since we started, we've not taken a commercial break. So maybe I will do that. And then maybe by the time I finish, she will be back. All right. Hello. The Beauty of a Woman's Heart is my second book that came out last year, and you can find it on Amazon worldwide, Barnes and Nobles, and Innovi Books. Continuing from there. So, Refreshing for My Weary Soul came out last October, and it's made up of a little drop of pearl. I take scriptures and I tell a story, and then I give you a little drop of pearl in the form of advice and what have you. And then there's also a waters of refreshing component and practical nyamisem that relates to how I see the way we worship God and my interpretation of it. So it's a devotional, it's a short read, and it's powerful. You will be blessed. So that is Reflections for My Thirsty Soul. It's my first book that came out April 2020. It's full of inspirational nuggets, also from the Bible or real life situations. It is powerful and it will motivate you. Hey, myself sitting here with all that we're talking about, my claim to fame is that I wrote 3 books during the period of COVID, published 3 books during the period of COVID. I did this to empower people, to support people, and people reading it have good, they've gained a lot from it. So, let's continue to live life to the fullest and bless and impact others. And the last thing that I have for you is here. So, is a resource that I'm working on. It's called Own It, a guide to taking responsibility and accountability for your own life journey. And the conversation that we're having today relates, this captures it all. We have to have our values, know what we are focused on in life, how we are living our life, and try to accomplish our goals. Otherwise, the lives that we are living are meaningless. I'm putting this out there to support people to go walk the path to get to their journey. So how you can support me is by joining my book club, Auntie'S book club on Facebook, and interacting in that platform. On March 24th, a link will be shared for the book, and you can go on Amazon and pre-order for 99 cents. And also you commit to share the link with minimum of 5, maximum 10 and up people or acquaintances of yours so that they also buy this book. The thing about us is that we find it so difficult to support things like this, but life is a journey. If we won't even think about ourselves, let's think about the next generation. Get these resources in the hands of a younger person just to help them in their life journey. Thank you. Yeah, is having a lot of what do you call it, network challenges today, so she's not been able to come back yet. But I'm hoping that she will be back. So the conversation that we're having today, the main topic was self-value, and it's based on page 212 to 216 of the book. But the main heading, well, it's a subtopic, but saying how our upbringing shapes our self-value. And we've talked about how the culture and faith influences us, the confidence level, that because of the way we were brought up, majority of us appear to be timid and don't have that confidence. So it seems to follow us everywhere we go. And even sometimes we've moved from our environments. We're now living in the diaspora, but we are not able to manifest because of some of these baggages that we have. And our unwillingness sometimes, or it would seem, to look at ourselves, look at ourselves, take stock of our lives, figure out, are we happy? Am I happy where I'm at? What can I do better? Everything, anything that you do on this earth starts with you. It starts with you. The answer and the solution to any matter lies within you. That is a quote from the book. Nobody is going to come and do life for you. You have to do it yourself. You take that step. There's people who will help you on the journey, but you're not going to become their baggage or be helpless. No, you help them. We say it, you can't try. Help, God helps those who help themselves. Take that step. Then somebody, you have to look for the help, your helpers. There's people, good people out there who are willing to pour into people. You only have to have that confidence to open your mouth and ask a question, and they will give you an answer. But we keep quiet. We don't verbalize because we've been taught, be quiet, don't speak up. A woman shouldn't talk too much. Be quiet. Take a back seat. Shut up. They'll even tell you, shut up. Yes. And so this affects our confidence. And yet, when we see people, especially women, those who are on their life journey, making impact, speaking up when they have to, manifesting, then it becomes a problem for us. And what do? We try to tear them down because they are not fitting the mold of what we expect a woman to be. Might I remind you, as we said earlier, there's no marriage in heaven. For those of you women who are killing yourselves over it, there's no marriage in heaven. Within the confines of the marriage, both you and your husband have to be manifesting. If he chooses not to, that should not stop you from manifesting. A lot of people are holding themselves back because of somebody else. At the end of the day, we sit down and we're miserable. And we go, wow, why did I allow time to pass me by? Oh, let me see if, just give me a sec. I don't know what's going on. I'm looking to see if Yah has texted me. Oh, okay. Yes. Yah's internet is not connecting, so I'm hoping she'll be back before I wrap up. But so, as I was saying, and I've forgotten what I was saying before, but basically, I'm talking about a whole lot of things. Are you going to sit and be miserable? Or are you going to stop being afraid and fearful and take charge of your own life? Determine what your values are and live life. What value have you placed on yourself as a person? Are you just an addition, somebody's slave or somebody's doormat or what have you? Or are you here to fulfill the purpose that God has for you on this earth? Sometimes we forget ourselves. We think that we belong to somebody. We belong to, oh, hello, Pastor P. Mr. Queer, hello. We belong to somebody, or because I belong to a church, the church owns me. I belong to this organization, the organization owns me. I belong to this school here, they own me. I'm in a marriage, so my husband owns me. No, I'll tell you this, let's keep it real. You are breathing on your own. Even if you needed breath, you would not be attached to your husband, you would not be attached to your pastor, you would not be attached to the family member, your friend, whoever. You'd be attached to an oxygen tank. If you get nothing from this at all, remember this and start to think about how you will start to manifest in life. Look, some of the things that we are doing, it's not, you don't need to win the Nobel Peace Prize before you know that you've done something fantastic on this earth. Just take a little step. Like me, we were talking about investing in yourself, and I buy these courses. And I buy these courses. Oh, my internet is also starting to act up. I buy these courses, and I went and bought this book, bestseller overnight thing. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? And I kept sitting there hemming and hawing. I mean, I bought it in late November, was it December? So yeah, I could have launched the book in December if I wanted to, or I could have done it in January. January launch was January 27th. Then February was February 3rd. I keep pushing it, so now I put it at March 24th. Thank you, Sister Aisha. What I'm trying to say is that for me, it was my personal thing that I'll talk to the coach and then I'll be sitting there being scared or, oh, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? I keep questioning things, but little by little by little, I'm doing it. Yes, I've taken the steps. The book club was the hardest because I'm like, who are you going to put in it? And then are they going to interact? Are they? The thing is, the commitment has to be there for people to want to support you so that on that day they are able to do it. But I'm sitting and wondering about that. But then this morning, even something came into my mind. Okay, I can try a different angle. I I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but I'm sitting in my little corner and I take things and I take this off. I've done this, I've done that. Like the video that you just saw last week, I was saying that I said, okay, you are doing all this, but you have to put it in front of people. And I said, oh, yeah. So when these guys who published my book, they did those videos for me, I went to Fiverr and I found somebody and they did it. So I paid $16. Yeah, what is $16? And then the books, okay, let me try and relaunch it. I found somebody on Fiverr. I paid. You know what? Money, to me, anything that I'll invest in myself to do something, I don't mind. I'll do it unless I don't have the money. Like I told you, I bought a course. Maybe it's 1,500, maybe it's whatever. Is that what you can't pay? And yet you spend that and buy clothes or buy food. Here we go to Kasoa and buy food. Yes. So this here, some of the things, all that I can say is that figure out the good things, the good values from your upbringing, hang on to those, mesh it with your new ones that you have, you know, and what you picked up from your environment and use it to build your life going forward. That is all that I can say. But if you are the mercy of your friends, you are the mercy of your church or your pastors, you are the mercy of your relationship or your husband, and you can't move or do anything, or you are the mercy of your children, you are making excuses. I can't do this, I can't do that. Look, I'm over 60. Maybe I don't look it. But I told you, where's Amajo? She's still on the line. I said, when I wrote this book, in this book somewhere, it said drifting through life. And I explained last week that I didn't write just for writing's sake. That was me. Because you do everything mindless. Oh, my worry now, team. Going, going, going. You are in your 30s, going, going, going. You are in your 40s. And for me, I explained that Minyamisum, like my faith is very important to me. So I love the Bible. Then you are in church and you are like, what's going on here? You are not pushing, you are not growing. After a while, you become a problem because they see you as public enemy number number one. But I thought that the Bible, if you are a church leader and you have a member who loves the Bible and knows it kakra, I'm not a pastor, but I say I love the Word of God. Aren't you happy that somebody is learning? Or do we want to be in, do we want to be such that only we know and we pour into people? Until you do stage, but I know when then it's my son who pushed me. He says, Mom, I'm facing challenges in my personal relationship, facing church challenges because I'm like, okay, I'm stuck. Where do I go? Where do I go? He says, are you going to sit and worry about these things and these people? Thank you, Pastor P. Are you going to sit there and worry about these people or these things, or are you going to do your writing? I said, okay. So I started. That's where, even still, I was timid. In 2019, my daughter took me to Montreal. Typical Ghanaian. I was born in Montreal, so I've been in Canada, and I hadn't even gone to see the place. And Nana said, Mom, we're going to Montreal. So we did. And so the day that we visited McGill University, that's my dad's alma mater. Oh, what an emotional day. I've said it on this platform before. We came back to the hotel and I looked at her and I said, Nana, I have to write this book. That was my inspiration that I got from visiting my dad's alma mater, seeing where he walked those days in the 60s when he came and gave birth to me here. Okay, that's what I got out of it. And yet before we work so hard and we won't go on holidays. Me, I'll go on holidays. So look, before COVID hit in March 2020, I wanted to go to Victoria in British Columbia. Nana has been there, done travel nurse twice. And I said to her, I'm going this year. COVID or no COVID, I'm going to go. July, August, I'm going to go. You have to live life. For me, Pastor P knows I like travel. So, go take pictures, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the views. Yeah. Anyway, oh dear. I'm sorry. I don't think Yah will be able to come on. And I'm just going to wrap up. Oh, Pastor P, thank you. Thank you. You're going to make me cry. Thank you. I take my inspiration from you and you are telling me this. Thank you so much. So if you're a Ghanaian woman and you are the age that I've reached and you are sitting there, Wabobo and Semu say, life is over, think again. It is never too late. Look, I said I got an awakening in my mid-50s and here I am now. I remember Aisha says, I love my holidays. I'm with you, sis. We agree on that, right? So, I got this awakening and here I am. I don't sit and cry back. I always wonder that, what was I thinking back then? But I don't sit there and sit in regret because the beauty of life is at whatever stage that you get that awakening, you pick yourself up and you keep pushing. So I'll leave it right there. Yeah. So sorry you couldn't come back on, but thank you for your input and your insights today. I appreciate you all, Sister Aisha, Pastor Patience, Ama Joe, Miss Sage, Sister Kuyanima, Mr. Chachu. I like your nice ones. When I see you write nice one, I just smile. Thank you for coming. Please keep coming, okay? Oh, Sister Aisha, Pastor Patience, Chiao. Mr. Ochi, my uncle, my only uncle, Ebenezer. My uncle's name is Ebenezer. That's why I like this guy so much. And yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anybody I miss. For anybody who comes on after, please leave us your comments. And Sister Cecilia Gilbert, I think you were on too because I saw you share. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you all. Next Saturday, she said I shouldn't call her sister, yeah. Sister Yar Boatma Russell and I will be back 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. GMT and BST. So watch out for us. Thank you all so much for your support. I love you all. Bye for now. Take care, okay? Have a good week.